Christmas morning smelled like cinnamon, fresh cookies, and something heavy sitting quietly in my chest. The tree was glowing in the corner of the living room, covered in golden lights and perfectly placed ornaments that my mom had spent hours arranging. Gifts were stacked neatly underneath, wrapped so carefully they looked like they belonged in a magazine. Everything looked warm, happy, and perfect from the outside. But inside me, something already felt wrong. My dad stood near the fireplace holding a glass of wine, smiling like this moment was important, like it was something we would all remember forever. My mom sat beside him, her eyes soft and proud, and my younger sister sat on the floor close to the tree, full of excitement like a kid waiting for the best surprise of her life. Then my dad picked up a small velvet box and handed it to her, saying it was something special. His voice sounded confident, almost practiced, like he had been waiting for this exact moment. My sister opened the box slowly, her hands shaking with excitement. Inside was a small silver key. For a second no one said anything, and then my mom spoke with a trembling voice, explaining that they had bought her a house. A real house, a fresh start for her future. The room instantly filled with claps and happy voices. My sister started crying, holding the key tightly like it meant everything to her. Everyone was smiling, everyone except me. I stood there quietly, forcing a small smile just to avoid attention. My dad looked at me and said softly that one day I would understand. The way he said it felt strange, like he had already decided how I should feel. But the truth was, I already understood. I understood everything. This was not the first time I had been left behind. When I was 10 years old, I had a school performance. I practiced for weeks and kept looking for my dad in the audience, but his seat stayed empty. Later, when I asked him why he did not come, he just said he was busy. That was it. No apology, no explanation. When I turned 18, he promised to help me with college. He said he would support me, that my future mattered. But then my sister needed a new car, and suddenly that promise disappeared. The money went to her, and I was left to figure things out on my own. At 25, when I finally asked him for help again, he told me I was too independent. He said it like it was a compliment, but it felt like rejection, like I did not deserve support because I had learned to survive without it. Now I was 31, standing in the same house, watching my sister get something I had once been promised. Not just a house, but attention, love, and value. But the truth was, I already knew this was coming. 2 weeks before Christmas, I had accidentally found some papers in my dad's office. I was not even looking for anything important. But when I saw the documents, I froze. It was the house I had helped design and build with him. I had spent months working on it, believing it would be mine someday. But when I looked at the papers closely, I saw my sister's name on them. Not mine. His signature was at the bottom, clear and final. It was done. He had given it to her without even telling me. That moment changed something inside me. I did not get angry right away. I did not confront him. Instead, I became quiet. Not weak quiet, but focused quiet. I started paying attention to everything around me. My dad had always acted like he was untouchable. He was confident, successful, and never thought anyone would question him. But that confidence made him careless, and I started noticing things. Over the next few nights, I went through documents, files, and records. It was easier than it should have been. Years ago, he had used my name for one of his companies. At the time, he said it was nothing important. But that decision gave me access to everything. I found hidden bank accounts, money transfers that did not make sense, fake invoices, and income that was never reported. It was all there, scattered but real. He thought no one was paying attention, but I was. I did not change anything. I did not take any money. I just organized everything, every document, every detail, put together clearly so anyone could understand what was going on. I knew exactly what it meant: fraud, illegal transfers, tax problems. It was serious. By the time Christmas arrived, everything was ready. That morning, I watched everything happen exactly how my dad wanted. My sister crying with happiness, my mom smiling with pride. The perfect family moment. Then my dad picked up the last gift under the tree. Mine. He smiled and made a small joke about his quiet son as he handed it to me. I opened it and found a simple leather folder inside. No fancy wrapping, no emotional message, just a folder. I looked at him and handed it back. At first, he looked confused. Then he opened it and started going through the pages. His expression changed quickly, confusion turned into shock, and then into fear. His hands started shaking slightly as he kept reading. He asked me where I got all of it. I told him the truth. I said it all came from him. The room went completely silent. My mom froze. My sister stopped smiling, still holding the silver key in her hand. My dad looked at me like he was hoping I would stop, like I would take it back. But I didn't. I told him it was already done. I told him to check his phone. Everything had already been sent, reports, evidence, all of it scheduled and delivered to the authorities. He whispered that this was revenge. I shook my head and told him it was not revenge. It was justice. He had used my name, my identity, and my silence to build things for himself. I just took it back. No one said anything after that. There was nothing left to say. Later that day, I packed my things quietly, no shouting, no drama, just silence. I left the house without looking back. 2 days later, everything started falling apart for him. Authorities got involved, investigations started. Within a week, he lost his position, his accounts were frozen, and his name started appearing in headlines for all the wrong reasons. I did not celebrate. I did not feel happy. What I felt was relief. Like something heavy that I had been carrying for years was finally gone. A few days later, I went to see that house, the one I had helped build. It had already been sold to someone else who knew nothing about the story behind it. I stood outside and watched the sunlight hit the windows, making it glow softly. For the first time, I did not feel anger. I felt peace. My dad taught me many things without realizing it. He taught me how power works, how silence can hide truth, and how patience can change everything. He just never thought I would use those lessons against him. Now, when I think about that Christmas morning, I remember what he said to me, that one day I would understand. And now I do. I understand what it feels like to be ignored, to be treated like you do not matter, but more importantly, I understand what it means to finally stand up for yourself. That day, I did not just expose him. I freed myself. And that was the only gift I ever really needed.